Okay, so what is Saturn Return in astrology? This is actually an interesting time. I relish it. I think it's cool, but I think for all the bitches of the world, meaning people who have spent, their teens, late teens, early 20s, just being a bitch and not really going for what they should in life, just wasting it. Partying all the time with no point to it, drinking, being stupid, just being retarded, or going for degrees that really aren't going to make any money, going for degrees that you really don't even intend to use, going for degrees just to please your parents, because look, a lot of people who are going to college now, universities, this is what's going to happen. A lot of them are getting degrees that, okay, if you're going to be a lawyer, right, unless you're going to be, one of the best lawyers in the world, you're probably a fucking idiot for being a lawyer, especially if you don't come from a family that has money, because the market's saturated, right? So if you're going to be a lawyer, other than the reason that you are super passionate about it, and that's really what turns you on and what you really know you should be doing, you're wasting your time. And this is what happens. So even individuals who do get a decent paying job, a decent career going on, if you're really not into it, right, you have to understand your environment. If you study war, Sun Tzu, understand yourself, understand your enemy, understand your environment. In this new environment, you're going to have people like me who are business owners, who understand that life changes, and we're great with change. It doesn't matter. You can put us in any situation. We'll adapt and conquer and thrive. But then you have individuals who, they don't understand. A lot of times you're going to be working a few different jobs as opposed to one or two jobs your whole life, like the previous generations before us. So if let's say you're in a decent career, you're sort of mediocre about it, you kind of wasted your younger years, your youth, not developing skills, not really living in your late teens, early 20s, not really gathering skills and learning more about yourself and what you're good at. So you do okay in your profession, but then you find that you're pushed out. The reason you're pushed out is because you're in your 30s, early 30s, mid 30s, and you're not that passionate about what you're doing, so you're not that good at it. Then you have someone who's younger who comes in, who's actually passionate about it, but they require less money, right, because they have less experience, and they get your spot. Like, the point is, you will fall off, especially when we're talking about mid to late 30s. You will fall off and you will become obsolete, because this is a new society, a society of multiple skills, of mastery, of ever things changing, of sort of tiny little tribes, tiny kingdoms. You need to have a mind that is malleable, and you need to be very good at what you do. This is now worldwide competition, right? Obviously that means that you are competing with everybody in the world instead of people just in your vicinity and in your country. It's different now. So, for people within the 28, between 28 to 30 sort of bracket, Saturn Return in astrology is the Saturn coming full circle. Like, it starts out when you're born, and then it comes back to the same place when you're born. And generally there's 3 Saturn returns for a full lifetime if you live that long, right? So what happens is you start to realize at about 28 or 29 that you're not fucking immortal, and that you better be doing what you want in your life or you suck, and you're just gonna live a terrible existence. And this is where people get stuck. This is where people either become really great and become better, or they're just stuck in the rest of the routine and they're just a normal, average, mediocre, sucky American. or wherever you live in the world. So most people start to feel vulnerability. Things may happen in your life to sort of get you out of whatever delusion you're in. A lot of people have big egos, all right, especially the guys in their early 20s. I live in a college town. You wouldn't believe the egos on these fucking idiots. But you can't tell them anything because they think they're the shit. When Saturn Return comes, it lets you know that, hey, you are not the shit. Maybe you are the shit, but you won't continue to be the shit if you don't start doing this. But most people are not the shit. They just think they are for no reason. Saturn Return makes you realize you better have a reason why you are. Do you have skills behind your supposed confidence? Are you creating the habits that you need? Because if you don't, you're gonna get punched in the face. Don't get in the ring with Mayweather, right? Unless you can actually box. The wool will be pulled from your eyes, right? The floor will be pulled from up under you. It's about, look, you don't have forever. You better damn well be doing what you want in life, or you're going to pay, and then eventually you're going to die, and then you suck. Like, it's not a joke. Saturn Return is serious business. So, when you are approaching this time, I'm 27. Difference between me, though, is I know about this stuff, and I'm all about living my purpose. For me, I can feel energy shifting and changing in my life, but it's different. I'm already well aware of the fact that I'm in this world and it's real and time is finite. So what have I been doing? I've been developing skills for years and preparing myself to become a man. You're not really a man until you're about 30 anyway. So that's the whole thing with Saturn Return. You're not even really an adult. I understand this. I've been pushing myself, developing myself, making myself stronger, getting ready to come to a peak, and then even keep pushing that way. However, I'm perceived now. In the future, I'm going to be, oh my goodness, my intelligence, whatever capacity, whatever potential I'm using will be greater. My strength, the amount of money, everything about me is getting ready to increase exponentially. I will not be in the same space that I am now, but I'm already moving. I already know this. I can feel things gathering. I can feel the energy shifting. I can see myself becoming what it is that I plan to become. I know I'm an extremely fortunate man, and it's not by luck. The point of this video is to start shaking all of you. A little fear, the correct kind of fear, the activation fear to get you moving in the right direction, is not a bad thing. So, if you are in your late teens, early 20s, I suggest you stop thinking that you have all this time, because when you turn about 20, 27, 28, 29, definitely 30, you're going to be looking back. And you're either going to be looking back with a smile, a frown, or a little bit of both. So, I hope you're doing what I've done, and I've spent all these years coming up with all these skills, learning all this information. I can look back and smile and say, hey, I've done it, yo. I'm actually, to a certain extent, satisfied. Now, I'm not really satisfied. I see how I could have done better in a lot of ways, but I really did it. I really went in there, and I'm proud of myself for that. I'm proud that I didn't stay in college, in university, like some people would have thought, that's better to do that. But no, I know I'm going to be rich as fuck compared to people who are going and doing all of those things. I can see it now. Before, I was going out on faith in myself, turn down this 6-figure career because I was going to be a nurse anesthetist. So I would have been making, starting out at least around $100,000 a year, right? So I turned that down to go and be the best me and not go the safe route. Are you enough of a visionary to see yourself succeed despite your current situation or obstacles, external forces, your parents, your peers? I'm gonna tell you right now, your peers are morons. I live in a college town. I live just minutes away from one of the supposed best universities in the country. I'd say 99% of, I'll give it a 97% of the individuals I meet from the university, and when you get to know them, they're just fucking kids. They're morons. Most of them are fucking morons. They're not super bright. They think they are. They really think they're really bright, but they're not. But you can't tell them that because they're arrogant as fuck. You can see where a lot of them are going. Nowhere special. If they're from upper middle class families, they'll probably do okay. They won't be very happy. A lot of them will be in relationships they don't really want to be in. They'll talk shit about people. People talk shit about me all the time. Difference is, it doesn't affect my life. I still get what I want. I don't have the same limitations other people have because I've figured certain things out about social dynamics. But that's the whole point. That's what I'm saying. Are you going to be in that little bubble, or are you going to be outside of it, outside of social control, to where you understand things well enough to where you can control them anyway? Because here's the thing, once you get out of fear, and once you get out of this sort of cookie-cutter way, you will become much more emotionally intelligent, and you will be able to create and do things. People will try to stop you, but you will become so skillful that it doesn't matter what they try to do. It doesn't matter, because it's not luck. The things that you attain in your life, it's not luck. You're doing it because you know things other people don't know, and that they will most likely will never know, because of their arrogance and because of their fear. So, Saturn Return will shake your life up. But do you really want to wait till you're 28 to have your life shaken up? Or do you want to start now, so when you're approaching that, you can start feeling the energy change, but you're like, I'm ready for this. Things are about to get better for me. Get ready, start running now. Start running the race now and be serious with yourself. Stop lying to yourself and stop looking for the approval of idiots. I'm going to be honest with you. Your peers are idiots. They're not smart. They're not people who you want to, you don't want their approval. They don't fucking know anything. They're not smart enough to give you correct approval. They don't know anything. Alright? Most people in their 30s and 40s are morons. But people in their late teens and early 20s, they're stupid as fuck. They're stupid. Like, I'm going to be honest in this channel, and I'm not going to pull any punches. People who drink consistently, you go to the club and you want to meet girls, so you drink alcohol, which impairs your cognitive abilities, and you think that you're going to do well with, you're a fucking moron. Okay? A lot of times guys act tough and want to get in fights when they're cognitively impaired. When they've drinking alcohol, I'll get challenged.